In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use basic three-dimensional forms to draw all different kinds of sweet treats. So, if you're starting this, you should have already completed drawing the 6 basic three-dimensional forms. If you haven't done this, there's a tutorial linked with this video that will show you how to do that. That's really helpful. So please make sure that you do that first. Once you've completed that, now we can start moving on to using those forms to draw objects three-dimensionally, and then I'm going to show you a little bit of how to use a light source to help you with shading. So let's start out with a basic cupcake. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to draw half a sphere. Now in the last video, I had told you that it's always important to draw that kind of little hemisphere line that's curved on your sphere. So you're basically going to just draw the top half of the sphere. So you're going to draw a basic half a circle, so a semicircle. Whoop, mine's a little lopsided there. So you're going to draw a semicircle. Then from there, you're going to draw a curved line on the bottom. So it's so important to make sure that your line is curved. That's what's going to allow this to make it look like it's a curved round structure. Then you're going to draw half of a cylinder. Now we're not going to see the top of the cylinder because the round part of the cupcake is connected to the base or the stump, right? So just draw two sort of parallel lines down to the side, and then another, you guessed it, curved line on the end of the cylinder. Since the base of a cylinder is a circle, we have to curve it. Then from there you could add a little icing. Now this is just a real basic way to do it. When you're actually doing your final drawings, you can make your icing all swirly and crazy and everything, but this is just for us to kind of get used to doing those basic forms. Then we can do our kind of little texture on our cupcake wrapper. You can also make this a lot more complex when you do your final. Now from here, it's showing us that the light source is coming from the left-hand side and shining on this side of the cupcake. So that means that we have to make, so draw that on there for yourself, that this side of the cupcake is light and this side is, what's the opposite of light? Dark. Excellent. So I'm going to take my pencil and lightly shade the right side of the cupcake. Now when I'm doing this, I'm kind of curving the strokes of my pencil a little bit because I always want to curve the lines when I'm doing a curved form because it reinforces that it's a curved object. If I went just straight back and forth like this, it would actually flatten out the object. So we don't want to do that. So that's my basic cupcake. Now, let's move on to the ice cream cone. So, just like last time, I'm going to do 2 demi-spheres, like I showed you before. But the first thing we want to do is a little mini sphere. So we're going to start out by just doing a circle, and we're going to be adding the three-dimensional elements when we shade it. So we're not going to do that line through the middle. And we're just going to do a little kind of curved line and a little stem for the cherry. Then we're going to do a semicircle and a curved line for one demi-sphere, and then another semicircle and a curved line. Now I can erase that part because this scoop is on top of that scoop. Then from here I am going to draw a triangle. And now for the little ridges or the texture in the ice cream cone, I'm going to make those lines, the horizontal lines, the ones that go left to right, curved because that's going to show the viewer that the ice cream cone is curved. The other lines, I'm going to start at the point, so I'm not going to just go straight up and down like this. I'm going to start at the point and make them go up so it's like a little skinny triangle. So that's going to also reinforce the shape. Then you can kind of add your sprinkles. Now I'm going to be adding my light. So I'm going to make my light source coming directly from the left, shining on here, so draw that for yourself. And I am going to just shade the right hand side because the left side is very well lit. So the right side would be in shadow. So I'm going to do my cherry. So I'm curving the strokes of my pencil when I do that. I'm going to shade the right side of the ice cream cone here as well. Shade this side. I'm sorry, not the ice cream cone, the scoop. Shade that as well. And remember, I'm curving the strokes of my pencil. And the same thing over here. Okay, now let's move on to number 3, which is showing us how to draw a cake. So our candle is a tall, skinny cylinder. So 2 little parallel lines, a little tiny oval, and a curved line. And then from there, I'm going to do an oval, 2 parallel lines, a curved line. I'm going to do another big oval, and then I can go in and erase that here. 2 parallel lines and a curved line. Then you can add your decoration, and you can decorate these kind of any way you want when you do your final copy. For now, just do the basics so we kind of get the hint. My light source is coming directly from the left. I'm going to shine my light on it. That means the right side is my dark side, and I am curving the strokes of my pencil on the curved parts here. And the tricky part here is because my candle is coming from here, that's also providing some light. The top of the cake is going to be light here, and then just down here there's just going to be a little bit of shadow on that side. But these are going to be straight lines because the top of the cylinder is flat. Now we're going to move on to number 4, which is a lollipop. So it's a sphere. So I'm going to draw a circle. I'm going to draw a curved line down the middle. So this is almost like a Tootsie Pop where you have that little kind of ridge in the middle. So 1 and 2, so curved lines. And then it's a long, skinny cylinder. Okay, so curved line at the base. So I know it's not just a flat stick. My light source is here. So draw your light source. Then I'm going to curve the strokes of my pencil as I shade the right side of my sphere, and then very, very lightly I'm just going to do a little bit on the right hand side. So you can do this using the worksheet, or if you don't have the worksheet, you can always do this on scrap paper too. Once you go to do your final project or any other project, you can always apply these principles of using basic forms. Identify what basic forms you see in an object you're trying to draw, whether it be food, furniture, it could even be people or animals, and then use those basic forms to help you kind of guide the shape of your drawing.